From the award-winning KCIW newsroom, Newsbreak. More than 4 dozen Forest Service employees have been fired from their positions with the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest since February. Siskiyou covers a majority of Curry County, as well as 6 neighboring and nearby counties. Former Brookings forestry technician Sean Cosgrove was one of those that was fired. He sat down with me to talk about getting fired by the DOGE cuts.
It was literally just a call from my district ranger saying that I had been fired out of the blue. No advance notice, no nothing.
I asked Sean if he got the DOGE email that many received asking for 5 bullet points of what they accomplished that week.
I didn't get that email because they had fired me before that.
While most of the DOGE firings were of probationary employees, Sean told me that probationary might mean something different to DOGE.
Out of these group of us that got fired that were considered probationary employees, you got some people that had 5, 10, 20 years in the service. They just switch to a different position, doesn't change their time. They go into a probationary status. They could have decades worth of time on within the Forest Service or federal agencies and still get fired because they were considered a probationary.
Probationary or not, Sean shared with me the reality of what might have happened if he'd lost his job under different circumstances.
If we hadn't met, then right now I would have to be in Southern California and living out of my truck so I wouldn't freeze to death because I couldn't, live in this environment without shelter.
Sean got married on February 15th, the day after he got fired over the phone.
If my partner didn't have a steady job and shelter for me to live in, I wouldn't have been able to afford the government housing that I was living in before I met my now wife.
Sean was more than just a forestry technician. Sean held what's called a red card. That means he can also assist in fighting fires.
Well, as far as like the specialists go, they have to find these people and then they could be coming from far distances. So it could take them days to actually reach the fire itself.
But if our local Forest Service employees are already equipped to do that,
if you got somebody that's local and that's there, they could be there less than a day. And on fires, hours matter.
Sean Cosgrove represents just one of the nearly 50 people who've been fired in this area. You should know that that's income lost, our economy affected, and local forest fires burning with less help. The momentum on these firings continues to change, and I will continue to update. For KCIW News, I'm Jason Liddeell.